rubber on the model room welcomes all. Thanks for stopping by, answering the call. Ups and downs are normal for some of us. Many days I beg to get off this life bus. Neon lights flicker, no shadow on the wall. Dreams on the ceiling, we run and then we fall. Sharing stories over paper cups. Wheels keep turning but never enough. Life's a ride on a rickety old track, holding on tight, never looking back. In the rubber and model room we confide, rock, cry, love in this crazy ride. Dusty postcards from the edge of nowhere, heartbeats echo in the electric air. We dance on tables without to wait, cry in the rubber and model room, we're all high.
Hi, welcome back. That was a quick break. I had to fix mom lunch, refresh my coffee. Y'all know the routine. I had to check on Hector, make sure that wreck wasn't, that my car, I hate to say my car, but our car was okay. Our car was not damaged. He is fine. He is at work. That was a little scary. So with my wild, just a bunch of wild crime. Hi everybody. I'm so glad y'all all made it back. We made it back. And look, Sherry made it. You're here. But jab me on, because I'm better on the big screen, right, Denise? I'm better on the big screen. Remember that? And Hannah's been in here. Look, she's dancing. She's being a troll. Hannah is my biggest and best troll. Yes, Cindy, great news. Thank you. I'm so glad that Hector's okay and everything. Yeah, there was a serious wreck on the freeway on the way to work where something about two 18-wheelers kind of collided or something, and then a truck went underneath one of the 18-wheelers. The muffler flew off and almost hit the car. Total chaos. But Hector's okay. He's at work. And yeah. So, whew. So Denise sent me a clip. Well, not a clip. There's a little interview. Anybody remember Gary Ridgway, Green River Killer? Well, he might be in bad health. We're going to look at that. There was some lady. I hadn't read the whole story. Hi, Meat. How are you, buddy? Hi. Oh, hi. Y'all, we have a visitor. Hi. Okay. What's up? All right. See you later. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to review the Gary Ridgway stuff. I have a short clip on that. And some crazy lady put tampons all over somebody's yard. We're going to review that. And what else? Oh, Becky Hill had court hearing. We're going to review that. So, yeah, Daddy was here. Yeah. Hey, Daddy. Yeah, me. He's over here. He's looking over the back of my monitors now. I had to trade out the dogs. I don't know, Hannah. I do not watch this stuff. I save it to watch with y'all so I could just review it and give y'all my best reaction. Just like, 30 minutes ago with Mr. Carlos Hernandez sitting in his chair that went, wee, cracked me up. I needed that laugh. Hio clipped it. She's got it. I even shared it. I don't know. It was great. I needed the laugh because it's a little chaotic. So we're going to pop this up and we're going to get on to Gary Ridgway and see what in the world is going on here.
Hearing about the situation with Gary
We
Ridgway.
need another laugh.
Yeah.
Hey, wait. We could, you know what? Just real quick, because I can. Hang on. We need that laugh one more time. Hang on. I'm going to find it. I know he clipped it. Let me. Okay.
Thank you.
Of course. Nice Blake. Share clip. Oh, nope.
Hello.
Why is it blank? I can't see the picture. I was blank. I couldn't see it. Damn it. Okay. Well, we'll find it later. Let's just go back over here to this because y'all know me. Yeah. So let's just see what we find in this. Y'all know I will come up with something before it's all over with. We will be go away. We'll be laughing again. So it's unfortunate and sad about Gary Ridgway, but whee! Yeah, that chair was something else.
What I'm hearing right now is that he is close to death, but I don't have any facts to back that up. I did see a photo of him about a year ago, and he was in a wheelchair. Didn't look very healthy at all, so it's not surprising that people are saying that he's in his last days, but I don't have any facts to back that up.
I mean, he's accused of killing so many people. He's been convicted of killing, I believe, 49. When he goes, how many secrets do you think he's actually taking to the grave with him?
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear real well. He asked how many secrets will he take to the grave with him.
Ridgway's taken a lot of secrets to the grave with him. When he was arrested in 2001 and finally decided that he was going to cooperate in as much as he did with the task force, he said he killed 65. He was going to confess to 65. He pled guilty to 49, and we closed 51 cases. 2 of them we weren't able to charge, but we know that he is responsible.
Okay, so just in case, just for refresher, Gary Ridgway, he was known as the Green River Killer. He was one of the most prolific serial killers in U.S. history, convicted of murdering 49 women and girls in Washington state between 1982 and 1998. He's currently serving 49 consecutive life sentences without possibility of parole at the Washington State Penitentiary. He primarily targeted vulnerable young women, including sex workers and runaways, believing they would not be reported missing as quickly. Typically lured them to his truck, strangled them often by hand before dumping their bodies in a remote wooded area, including along the Green River, which led to his infamous nickname. He sometimes returned to the bodies to engage in necrophilia. He was an early suspect in the case, but passed a polygraph test in 1984. Evidence collected in 1987 was not conclusive at the time, but the advances of DNA technology finally linked him to 4 victims in 2001, leading to his arrest in November of 2001. To avoid the death penalty, he accepted a plea bargain in 2003, which he confessed 48 murders and agreed to help authorities locate the missing remains of his victim. He was sentenced to 48 life sentences, with a 49th added in 2011 after the remains of Rebecca Marrero were identified. He claims to have killed as many as 71 women, and some investigators believe the number could be as high as 90. So,
for those cases, when we interviewed him for 6 months, getting information from him was like pulling teeth. So we were pulling teeth for information for each and every case that we finally charged him with. And we knew that he was withholding a lot of information. We knew that he's a pathological liar. He's also a psychopath. And so I think that at times he didn't know truth from lie. So I'm sure that he's kept a lot of secrets, and he's going to die with some secrets.
Okay, Hannah. And Sherry's prepping dinner, so she has gremlins in her house. I thought Halloween was over, but it's okay. Gremlins are. I've only seen gremlins at Halloween. Oh, and gremlins come out at night, and you don't feed them after midnight or give them water. So be careful with your gremlins, Sherry. No pulling teeth now. Settle down. Yeah, Gary Ridgway and pulling teeth, they may not be a good combination there. And Hannah is listening ears only.
Hannah, behave at work.
Okay, see, now I broke my mic. fucking with Hannah. I broke my mic. See what happens? Okay.
Him dying is really about the families. All those families. How do you think they'll deal with his death? Will it be a movement to move on for closure, or
Have
do
to
they
feed
still
'em.
have the same unanswered questions?
I think, the cases that he pled guilty to, the 49 cases, those families can never have closure. The families of missing girls and women today will never have closure until their loved one is found alive. Hopefully, some will be. There are some, of course, that are still unsolved homicides. The most that families can do, from all the conversations I've had with families, is to pray for answers to the questions that they have. Why did my daughter die? Who killed my daughter? And where's her body? And when can I put her to rest in a proper way? And those are the questions that we can help families answer. Um, Ridgway's confession helped us give those answers to 51 families, but there are a number of families still left today that don't have those answers. But
Yeah, and that's the sad part is there are families that don't have these answers, and again, what they said, what is going to go to the grave with him? What information is going to be buried with this crazy man? And Dandy, I'm glad you're here. And Lois, I'm so glad to see you again, girl. I hadn't seen you in a while. Of course, I hadn't been here, but and if you have time, go back to Heos and watch the clip, because this man just made a weird wee sound in the last stream I just did, and we sat his big butt in the chair, and I cracked up and almost fell out of my chair laughing. So if you get a chance, y'all go watch that later.
I don't want them to give up, because I have tremendous faith in the King County Sheriff's Office and local law enforcement here in the state of Washington, some of the best law enforcement officers in the country. And I know that. I've worked with law enforcement all across the country. They are dedicated to finding the people responsible for the unsolved murders that still are under investigation today. They're not going to give up. Guarantee you. They're not going to give up.
Ridgway was kind of one of those first cold cases that was solved through DNA. How much has this case affected law enforcement worldwide on solving cases, on making people have some of that closure, having some of those answered?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you couldn't hear, he was asking about this being one of the first cases that they were able to use DNA to solve these cold cases. How has that helped the police and advancement? Which I'm all for, like the DNA solves, the cold case, cold case files that have been, been able to be solved because of the DNA that we're able to do now. The true crime community has been able to advance the knowledge and be able to get answers because of the DNA evidence that we now have, and we're able to, the advanced technology is what I'm trying to say. My words are not wording. It's been a minute. But I think it's fabulous. So I wonder what this gentleman has to say about this.
I think law enforcement over the years, they've learned a lot from cases like Ted Bundy, cases like Ridgway case. There's new techniques. There's new techniques in processing outdoor crime scenes. I think a lot of that is in use today. But really, what's had the impact on investigations today is the fast-paced progress of DNA, familial DNA research, and those sorts of things. That's really been the breakthrough in solving some of these cases, because a case investigation starts with the identification of unidentified human remains. And so DNA now can be used to identify victims with finding bones. And so once you've identified the victim, the investigation now begins, because then you can go to family and friends and build out a case, track down where they were last seen, and then continue the investigation from there. So DNA and other forensic techniques have really aided investigators in today's investigations.
What would your message be to the families of those Green River victims that have not been found yet?
Well, there's 3 that have not been located yet, and again, I know that it seems impossible, but people said it was impossible that that we were going to solve this case. It took us 19 years, but we did it, and there were a lot of hurdles to overcome, and I think my message is just to call the investigators, let them know you're still there, let them know that you care. I know that most families will do that, but just for me personally, know and understand and believe that cops today, that the law enforcement officers of today, detectives working on these unsolved cases are not going to give up. They will find answers.
Do you think
And can you put him in his kennel, please? Thank you. Yeah, and that's what they're saying is, with they're able to solve things now that they weren't able to solve years ago with all the DNA. And I am so for it. This is just one of the biggest things. And I wanted to stop and say, hello, Abellis. Welcome in. Glad you're here.
over the last, I guess, do you think justice was served giving him the life sentence and him pleading, or would have you rather seen something else happen?
Yeah, that the question about making a deal with Ridgway back when he was arrested, life in prison versus the death penalty. Today we don't even have the death penalty, so he wouldn't. If we caught someone like Ridgway today, it wouldn't even be a question. It was a tool for us, and that's one of the reasons I was disappointed to see the death penalty go away, because with people like Ridgway, they're cowards. The first thing they want to do is save their life. How do they save their life? Confess. And that's what he did. He is a coward. He saved his life. He confessed to 49. We closed 51 cases. So yes, I think it was the right thing to do. Otherwise, we'd have only had 7 families that would really have answers to the questions they were asking instead of 51.
Did the families ever get an answer?
As of now, Abellis, no, he is not. As of right now, he is on end-of-life care in prison due to poor health. He is 76 years old. The Washington Department of Corrections refute these claims, saying they cannot provide medical details. And he can't be released to a hospice facility or anything like that. So we just kind of have to go with what the former sheriff is saying.
To the question of why he did this.
The only answer that Ridgway ever gave us when we asked him why he did it was because I could. That was.
Sorry, Letitia Stalk, or whatever the psychos. Thank you. I need that, Dandy. Y'all, we got to get back into some of I have just, the seasonal affective disorder has really screwed me up this last month. So I need these few laughs we can get, even though these are some hard things to deal with. I need the laughs and giggles because this is a hard time of year for some of us.
And this is a typical.
And it was Letitia Stalk, Gannon Stalk's stepmother.
Psychopath. I mean, he's typical, no remorse, not sorry for anything, and really can't think of any other reason other than he could.
How chilling was it when you were sitting down there off of Airport Way in the makeshift jail that you guys built for him. How chilling was it to sit there and talk to him?
You know, I had 3 days that I was able to visit with him and interview him. And what I remember, and I think what other detectives will tell you that were the primary interviewers, when you sat down with him and looked at him and looked him in the eye, you were looking at pure evil. I interviewed Ted Bundy in 1986 for 3 days with Detective Bob Keppel. And I had this exactly the same feeling. It's just a dark, deep hole filled with evil. Hard to explain, but I think people understand it when I describe it that way. How else could you describe somebody who just randomly grabs people off the street, especially our most vulnerable young girls and young women, and takes their life?
And just in case, just for the reminder, we're going to share this real quick. This is what he looked like. This was Gary Ridgway, in case y'all, accidentally forgot. He's no Prince Charming. No Prince Charming.
It's weird. We won't say where we are, but I mean we're very close to where he went and dumped some of those bodies up in these hills. And I remember seeing the video of him walking you guys through down the ravines out in this area to try to find those bodies.
Yeah.
When you're back in this area, do you remember those times?
All the time. Yeah, I remember. I can close my eyes and I can see the sites where the victims were found, the positions of the body, the state of decomposition that some were in. Some were scattered bones, but I can remember all of those. If I close my eyes and think hard enough, I can still see those sites today. He took us on one trip. We asked him about a victim who was killed in Seattle, and showed him the picture and said, "Hey, can you take us to where you put her body?" And he directed us right to Seward Park. This is where Mary West was found. And back when the body was found, I was a detective and I was in charge of the crime scene, and there were about 125 people there that we were directing in different ways into the crime scene, into the scene where the body was found. Which path did he take? And I chose 3 different ways, but I selected one in particular and said, I think this is the pathway he took in. And then years later, when Ridgway took us back to that site, he stopped at that very spot and pointed, "That's the path I took in." And back during back during those days, it just gave me goosebumps. I had to get out of the car and walk in and look at the site where Mary West was found. Chilling.
What do you hope for the families when Gary finally does die? What do you hope the family?
Oh, that's a rough question that he's asking him. And yes, I believe you're right, Cindy. He was giving his wife gifts that was from the victims. I think you are right. And the question he just asked, in case you can't hear, because it is a little low, he said, what did he say? Something about the family. When Gary dies, what hope do you have for the families?
When Gary finally does die.
What hope for the families do you have when Gary finally does die? What hope are you able to do?
I don't think Ridgway's death is something that is not going to take away any pain. It's not going to bring their daughters back. They know that better than any of us. I suppose that from my meetings with the families, I remember most of the families were Christian. And I would imagine that those families that are of that faith understand and realize that Ridgway had a judgment day in King County Court. and got 49 consecutive life sentences. But Ridgway is going to have a judgment day, and he better pray, because that's going to be his final judgment.
You know, obviously, for the families and the women that he killed, it was obviously a horrible thing. But these deaths affected a lot more people, including your crews,
Oh, yeah.
your people that worked out there.
Yeah.
How hard was it for your detectives and your people in the King County Sheriff's Office to move through this whole process?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you, detectives,
He's asking about, I know it's hard to hear. He's asking him, how hard was it for the detectives to have to deal with all this, basically, is what he's asking.
still talk to today are still carrying the memories. I just explained to you how I can see the sites where the bodies were found. I know what bones were found in these sites, and other detectives are having the same feelings. It's something that you live with. You can't collect scores and scores and scores of dead bodies and erase those memories, especially of little girls. So here's one human being, Ridgway, if you want to call him a human being, one person, Ridgway, who had such a tremendous impact, not only on each and every family that lost their loved one, but on the entire community and on this entire state, on the detectives, but also on this entire state. There was a dark cloud over the state. No one believed we would catch this guy. And then in 2001, we did. And people still come up to me today and say, thank you. I remember I met Ridgway here. I remember I worked with Ridgway at Kenworth Trucking. I was working at a 7-Eleven, up on Pacific Highway. Ridgway used to come in. There's so many, and people have impacts that from Ridgway that just have this ripple effect. People remember it almost more than the day Mount St. Helens blew up, to tell you the truth.
Oh, I remember when Mount Helens saying word. I remember when when Mount St. Helens blew up and all the ash was over. And I remember all the stuff about Ridgway. So Hannah. Why do I keep saying Hannah? Hannah is my haunting troll. I think I have Hannah in the brain as my haunting troll. So sorry, Abellis. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say Abellis has us way in the future. 2091. I won't even be here, babe. I won't even be here. I can swear I just watched a news clip of a woman that claimed to have run into him along railroad tracks. Anything's possible. I mean, he wasn't arrested until what, 2001, November 30th of 2001. And these crimes were committed between 1982 and 1998. So that's a long run. Lois is like, I ain't going to be here either. Look, Abellis, Hannah is my biggest troll, and I love her for it. And my camera's flickering. What is this comedy and the chaos happening?
Truth.
I grew up in Issaquah at the time, so I mean, I was here when all that was happening. I was here when Bundy was down at Lake Sammamish. Is there anything that you can look on the positive side of what the Green River killer brought to anything? Is there I mean, are people more careful? Did they understand did it help law enforcement look more at how do we help victims? How do we help people get out of those situations?
Here, there are some positives. I think, some
I think so.
some positives in the way that we investigate missing persons now. We're quicker to take a missing persons report here in Washington State than we were back in the early 80s and late 70s.
It's right here.
We shouldn't be. I know that we changed that law, and I don't know where it is now. We shouldn't be waiting 24 hours
I have it.
to take a missing persons report. That was one of the mistakes that put us 24 hours behind investigating, a case. I'll tell you, one of the things that I think is bothersome is that human trafficking was so prevalent back in the 80s, and we haven't learned anything today. We still drive up and down Aurora Avenue, Pacific Highway South, downtown, Tacoma, Seattle, and we drive by these young girls on the street, and they're invisible to us. We haven't done enough to help young girls, and for that matter today, young boys, who are on the edge of they're vulnerable and they need help, and we need to help them rather than look at them as criminals. And that's what we did in '82. They were first arrested for prostitution.
Okay, Mom, thank you.
And then we said, okay, you need some help. And now they've got an arrest record. We need to help these young people before they hit the street.
Whoop. Pause on that. We're not going to do her just yet. Puppies. Puppies are good. Lola she's too young to be a mom. She's doing as well as she can. Sorry, Mom was in here. She was looking for her phone. Dementia is a bitch, but we live with it. We know how to deal with it. She was looking for her phone. I was charging it. Not that she knows how to use it, but it's okay. Anyway, so that's sorry, that's why I was so sidetracked for a second there. But our puppies are very good. I went in there and spent time with them. I had a little video of them on my earlier stream where I did the sentencing for the DTE murder trial. There's a little clip. I will post that actually by itself a little later this evening. I'll do a puppy update and I'll post that. They have started to wag their tails. Their little tails are wagging, and they can actually see. So they come like running up to me when I go in the big kennel, and it's joy. So the pup dates are on point, and we will have I will post another one later tonight. So y'all be sure you, hey, wait, let me do my spill. Hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe, and yeah, do all those things. Pass it around, share it. I don't know, whatever they all say. I'm just here for fun and entertainment. So your mother-in-law just moved in with you. Yeah, it's my mother-in-law's been living with us for 4 years. And the dementia's slowly progressed, and we have good days, we have bad days, and today's just one of those days. So between my streams, I went and made her a sandwich and cookies and got all that stuff all set up so she'd have something to do while I streamed again. So, and I will be there to back up Hio later when Hio streams this evening. Yeah, the puppy live. Yeah, I'm going to do another one of those. I might do another late night tonight. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. But, how many other people do y'all know is going to go lay in the middle of the floor with puppies and just hit live on their phone? And yeah. So I might do that later on tonight. I don't know who Mom's talking to. She doesn't even know how to use the phone. But I hear her in there talking. Some scientists believe the person be first person to ever be 150 is already born. Girl, ain't nobody living that long. Abellis, you're dreaming. Here, poke. Wake up, Abellis. We ain't living that long. Mustang, hello, honey. How are you? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so let's roll over. So the next little clip thingies we got here is Becky Hill. Our beloved Becky Hill. Becky Hill. She's the former Colleton County Sheriff, Colleton County Clerk of Court, who oversaw that beautiful Alex Murdaugh trial that I'm sure a lot of you watched. So she had some charges. For showing sealed crime scene photos to members of the media during the trial, and she lied about it under oath. She misused public funds to promote her book about the trial and all that. So, and what I think there was plagiarism in the book too, if I remember correctly. I don't remember. Let's see, but you know, see, we just had a conversation. Hector and I just had a conversation the other day. I was like, you're going to get another 15 years out of me. If I'm doing good, you're going to get 15 more out of me. And I'm out. I don't plan on, I'd be what? 70 something. I'd be okay then. Yeah. I'm not willing to. Yeah. So yeah, she knew better. And yeah, I believe that there is an appeal out for a new trial. I read something about that today. So, okay, let's see, because the first thing that she says is, I am guilty. Let's listen in.
I plead guilty, Your
To
Honor.
all 4 charges?
Yes, sir.
Becky Hill, the clerk of court in Alec Murdaugh's double murder trial, is in court admitting to crimes that she committed stemming from the high-profile trial. Hill's own words coming back to bite her in a big, big way.
Did you ever allow anyone from the press to view these sealed exhibits?
No, ma'am.
I go through all of it. I'm Jeanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Visit opus.pro. Minutes,
Okay.
You'll have perfectly edited clips ready to go. Clip means our producer, Becky Hill, was the toast of the town. I know because I saw it. I was there. You had to schmooze her a little bit for good seats in the courtroom, stuff like that. She even had a front row reserved for her.
And I just dropped the link in the chat if you want to watch it without my commentary. And all the links to all these videos we were watching are in the description box below if you would like to watch any of them without my commentary and my crazy, chaotic comedy in the chaos, guys.
Special guests, and you were not allowed to sit there if you were not one of them. Becky was friendly.
Okay, we're going to rewind it. So we're not going to interrupt her for a second. We're going to listen to her tell us about it.
For good seats in the courtroom, stuff like that. She even had a front row reserved for her special guests, and you were not allowed to sit there if you were not one of them. Becky was friendly and she was helpful, but all of this attention may have gone to her head, and it led to her fall from grace. Following the trial, Hill wrote a book with a co-author named Neil Gordon, but the book was pulled after it was revealed that Hill took a BBC reporter's work and passed it off as her own. That's plagiarism, and it's a big no-no. An investigation into Hill started after Murdaugh's trial, when rumors started to swirl that Hill may have used federal funds for bonuses. Now, there's that old saying that where there's smoke, there's fire, and there was a lot of smoke. The rumors were enough to spark ethics complaints and later a criminal investigation. And here's another one that got Hill in big trouble. She was taking members of the media to a back room after hours and allowing them to view sealed exhibits. At a January 2024 hearing, former Chief Justice of the South Carolina Supreme Court, Jean Toll, asked Becky Hill about that.
Did you ever allow anyone from the press to view these sealed exhibits?
No, ma'am.
Did you
Liar.
allow Netflix to ever examine the exhibits for trial?
No, ma'am.
Well, guess
Liar.
what? Investigators with SLED said that was a big fat lie. Justice Toll actually pressed Becky Hill about the sealed exhibits at that hearing.
How did you handle exhibits? Because you did have the press have great access to the exhibits, and you say several times in your book that you had to stay after to be sure that you interacted with the press about these exhibits. That's true, is it not?
That is true. We had Mr. Jay Bender, and then we had the pool photographers and someone from.
Just so you are aware, she did plead guilty to 4 of the criminal charges, which is 2 counts of misconduct in office, 1 count of obstruction of justice, and 1 count of perjury.
Maybe the state, I believe, or the Posting Courier, along with the court reporters, someone from court administration, and then someone from the clerk's office every night that would go over the exhibits to make sure everything was correct and within our domain.
Were any press people ever allowed to view the exhibits, even the sealed exhibits that you had on file?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
What was the methodology for allowing them to examine the exhibits? How'd you handle that?
I wasn't there a whole lot when we did this every night, but it's my understanding that the people that were involved with the exhibits, and especially the court reporters, and there was a certain time frame that they were allowed to take their pictures, and everything was all of the pictures were looked at by the court reporters that were there, and the lady from court administration, along with someone from my office and Mr. J. Bender, to make sure that everything was done correctly.
What I'm asking is how you handle having them, the press, view these exhibits.
If I remember correctly, the press, we had certain designated photographers, and then someone, I think, from the state or the Post and Courier, and they were responsible for putting it out on a stream for the rest of the media to
And would
access.
they do that by photographing the exhibits as they were in your possession after court was over that day?
That is correct.
And how did you handle the sealed exhibits in terms of their availability when these press people are there photographing exhibits?
They stayed sealed.
And so you think that you're aware of the fact that some of these on the scene photographs of the two decedents found their way into the public press. You're aware of that, are you not?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Now, at the same hearing, Alec Murdaugh's defense attorney, Dick Harpootlian, pulled out an email showing that Becky Hill indeed had handed over sealed exhibits to a documentary film crew.
You can't make this shit up, guys. You cannot make this up. The insanity is real. This woman really thought that she was going to get away with all this. Yeah, and the fact that she has gotten no jail time for this,
But what it is an email from Rebecca Hill to Miho Takachuchi, something. Miho, first name, the Buford McDowell body cam should not have gone to you. Please get rid of it. Do not use it. The Judge Newman, specifically ordered the body cam not be used if it got out. Apparently, it's still on the videos we were saved. I appreciate your attention. What about what about the other body cam video we could see on many news documentaries? Can you provide it? It seems the camera's on the other police personnel. I mean, here she's having emails between this Japanese production company about body cams telling them to get rid of it. I think that's important, and I can have a copy of this printed out for you when we get it to a printer for the record.
That hearing was in January 2024, as I mentioned, and it would take more than a year for charges to be filed. But this past May, Becky Hill was charged with felonies of perjury and misconduct in public office. A warrant stated, in Richland County, South Carolina, on or about January 29th, 2024, Mary Rebecca Hill, being the elected clerk of court of Colleton County, did willfully and unlawfully give false, misleading, or incomplete testimony while under oath in a court of record. During the hearing, former Clerk Hill did willfully and unlawfully give false and misleading testimony when Chief Justice Jean Toll asked former Clerk Hill, "Did you allow anyone from the press to view sealed exhibits?" And Hill responded, "No, ma'am." This statement was inconsistent with the events of February 28th, 2023, when former Clerk Hill did release or make available sealed evidence photographs to a third party or parties.
But, I was just thinking about this. I don't want to talk about other creators, really, but there was a creator that got a hold of Gannon Stouck's photo that shouldn't have been out there. And how did they get that photo? Somebody put it out there. So see, it's not just Becky Hill. There are other clerk of courts and stuff that are making these mistakes. There, information coming out that shouldn't have been let out by many, many courts. This is not the only one I've seen. Now, this is the only one that I've seen anybody being convicted so far, but it's happening. It is happening to a lot of cases.
Also faced 3 misconduct in office charges, one involving an allegation that she failed to protect the sealed exhibits, and another about her book. The warrant stated, on or about June 7th, 2023, Mary Rebecca Hill did promote a book in which she was an author behind the doors of justice, the Murdaugh murders, while using her public office to promote the aforesaid book on social media, such act being for her own financial gain and in violation of her duties, in violation of the laws of the state of South Carolina. Hill is also accused of using federal funds meant to support child support enforcement to give herself a bonus. The warrant states, on or about September 1st, 2021 through March 5th, 2024, Mary Rebecca Hill, being the elected clerk of court of Colleton County, Hill requested and then received $9,880.10 in financial bonuses for herself that were paid from the Title IV-D incentive funds. Such funds were obtained by Hill and utilized for her own financial gain. Furthermore, on or about March 5th, 2024, Hill received a financial gift and/or/slash bonus in the amount of $2,000 paid by a check from the Colleton County Clerk of Court's office funds and utilized for her own financial gain in violation of her duties. Becky Hill repaid that nearly $12,000 in funds by personal check today. Still hanging over all of this is the allegation by Alec Murdaugh's attorneys and a couple of jurors that she made comments to try to sway them to find Murdaugh guilty, possibly to sell more copies of her book.
Well,
You know, and I do remember that incident. And yeah, exactly like Lois said, how could she not think there would be a conflict of interest writing a book? I mean, to be the clerk of court, you know, and I was just sitting here in the background Googling about the other incidents, you know, and they were saying that the clerk sometimes mistakenly files sensitive documents in the public's electronic system, which is the PACER, which is a federal system, instead of under seal, making them accessible until they're caught, until somebody says, oh, wait, look what I got. Was I supposed to have this? How many people are going to stop and say, oh, was I supposed to have this information? No, they're going to be all like, oh, wait, look what I got. And they're going to share it. I mean, I'm not that type of person. I don't, you know, I'm very careful of what I put out. But, you know, the clerks, they can inadvertently let the public view, you know, the physical files or stuff that's meant to be sealed or expunged. In this incident, Becky screwed up. Miss Rebecca Hill screwed up. You know, there's got to be training for this. There's got to be some type of accountability that you know that comes with that. So, you know, the judge has to order it to be resealed or whatever the judge has to do to get that put back. But once it's out, what do they say? You can't put the poop back in the horse. You know, it's out. It's out. You know, you can't draw it back. I mean, you really can't.
In your book, you suggest that the guilty verdict was what you wanted, and you were fearful that that a guilty verdict would not be rendered. You say that a lot about your feeling about wanting a guilty verdict, do you not?
I do agree that that is said in the book. And part of that is because I think it was a guilty verdict.
Well, this is that you were describing a time way before the verdict was rendered when you wrote about those things in the book. Isn't that correct?
It is, yes.
And you even have something where you said your eyes met with jurors and others at Moselle, and y'all had an understanding, unspoken, that he was guilty. You said that in the book, did you not?
Now Hill has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of misconduct in public office, 1 count of obstruction of justice, and 1 count of perjury. She received suspended sentences, so she will not serve any jail time. Here's part of the hearing from Fitz News.
I want to say that I am truly sorry. And I do take full responsibility for my actions. And I know that I have let down this court, my community, and the people that put their trust in me. There is no excuse for my mistakes. I am ashamed of them. And I will carry that shame with me for the rest of my life. I have already begun the hard work of rebuilding relationships.
Well, thank you for that, Abellas. And I know that the other creator put it up on our Patreon and put it behind a paywall. I did not know. I never went and looked to see what photos she had. I did watch the Gannon Stout trial. And I know that so I don't know exactly what the photo was that she put behind her Patreon, which was just disgusting to even do that. But yeah. I didn't know they didn't that was the one that she put out. So I take back what I'm not downing anybody. I'm not saying anything negative to anybody, but I would never do anything like that. So anyways, I'm gonna back this up a little bit.
So I am ashamed of them, and I will carry that shame with me for the rest of my life. I have already begun the hard work of rebuilding the relationships that I damaged by accepting responsibility, by seeking forgiveness from those that I love, and by repaying any improper bonus I received. I am committed to making amends, to being honest, and to living in a way that reflect the values that I failed to uphold. Your Honor, I respectfully ask for the opportunity to continue supporting my family and to work every day to rebuild the trust that I have broken.
Solicitor Rick Hubbard had this to say about allegations of jury tampering.
As Your Honor knows, if I were to prosecute this case, all three of these jurors would be my key witnesses. And the inconsistencies would be insurmountable if I proceeded forward. In addition, what SLED did is they interviewed the remaining 11 jurors. None of them corroborate these three jurors. One juror out of that whole bunch said something about, Ms. Hill said something about the defendant's demeanor. But in his statement to SLED, he said, I didn't know what she was talking about. My vote was my vote. It's based on the evidence. So there was nothing to really go on with that juror. Otherwise, all of them denied everything that was said in the back room by Ms. Hill. Many of them said she was very professional when she was back there, and she only talked about the things that were the judge had sent her back there to talk about. So they
had Mr. Hubbard's team uncovered any sort of jury tampering, there would be a much different sentence here today. There's probably nothing more sacred in our system than the jury, and I've known Mr. Hubbard since his hair was dark and I had some hair. So if his team, and I know both the lawyers on his team, and if they tell me at least they couldn't prove it, then that's enough for me.
Okay, so to discuss all of this, I want to bring in Jen Wood. She's a researcher at Fitz.
Okay. Yeah. So we're going to listen to her for a few minutes and see if this is something we want to continue listening to, or we're just going to move on to our tampon lady.
Fitz News has everything covered down there in South Carolina. You should check out their website. Jen, I don't know about you, but Miss Becky, she's a nice lady. We all dealt with her down at the trial, but she was a public official, an elected official. They are accountable to the public. And wow, she got off pretty easy here, I think. She no jail time, suspended sentences, paid back the money she took. She took money that was public money for a bonus for herself. So yikes. What's your feeling about this?
It's a really odd feeling to have, because I'm not overly surprised, but I'm very disappointed. I just kind of felt like it was just, let's get this done before the holidays and move on.
It feels like faux accountability.
I totally agree with Anjanette Levy in this. And Southern Cats, welcome in. Hey, hun, how are you? Yeah, because that just sounded like a written spiel just to like placate everybody to say, hey, yeah, I screwed up and I'm going to be better. And it didn't sound very genuine to me.
Usually they make an example out of a public official for doing something like abusing their office. And the judge was like, she got caught up in the hoopla of this big trial and people were making money. And, I know you didn't make a lot of money. Well, how do you know that, judge? First of all, but come on, you're basically saying oh, you got swept up in all of this. No, maybe she did, maybe she didn't.
And I thought it was interesting as he was going into the sentencing portion, how he said, if they had proven there was jury tampering, that this would have gone a lot differently.
Right.
And, I was thinking, but haven't they proven that?
I mean, we have at least one juror who said she felt pressured.
Right.
And so it's going to be up to the South Carolina Supreme Court when oral arguments happen in Alec Murdaugh's appeal in February. to determine which standard should be used,
Right. And
Remmer or Green.
right.
So
And I think that's going to be a big deal.
it is going to be a big deal. The thing that bothers me about what that judge said, Jen, is the fact that the stealing of the bonus money, the child support enforcement money, started like it didn't have anything to do with the trial. So let's not act like this had anything to do with that.
Exactly. And it was completely separate from that. And I think it shows just how widespread the problem.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's going to show her character that it's not only this trial that she has caused turmoil in, it's beyond just the Alec Murdaugh trial.
Was there.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me too, because Alan Wilson, he brought in Rick Hubbard as kind of a special prosecutor. There was not a total separation here, because he still had one of his attorneys with the AG's office, assisting with this, advising, like appellate counsel or what have you. And it just seems like to me, like, they proved the perjury. I mean, that must have really ticked them off. Okay, she lied. They had her dead rights on the perjury, that she lied about showing members of the press the sealed exhibits. We knew during the trial that was going on. I heard about that back then, that she was taking people back there after hours and letting them take a peek at stuff and showing them stuff. I mean, we knew that was going on back then. It was really weird. I've never heard of a clerk doing that, but that must have really ticked them off, because, or maybe it was Justice Toll who's like, you saw it, right? Maybe there's like behind the scenes, like talk or chit chat. She lied to the world and me right in front of everybody. So maybe that's why.
So if Antoinette knew it was going on back then, why didn't anybody say anything back then? I have questions. Why wasn't it called out immediately? Immediately, somebody should have spoke up and said something. What took them so long to get to? I have a problem with that. Antoinette, you should have spoke up. If you knew, you should have spoke up. See, this is what I have a huge problem with this. People hiding behind things and not being transparent, open, and just
They were so interested in that and going back and looking at the, metadata.
Yeah, you got nosy people. Oh, shut up, Sheila.
Data and things of that nature. So they were really upset about that. And it seems like they were more upset about that than her stealing the money and using, her office to promote her plagiarized book.
Right. They called I think they called Rick Hubbard's role in this a limited designation, which I thought was really interesting, in noting that the Attorney General would maintain control of the investigation. I think the whole thing is just bizarre. And I think it goes to just how bizarre the Murdaugh case is at this point. We are going into oral arguments in February in front of the South Carolina Supreme Court. And is this going to play into it? I mean, will this come up during those oral arguments? I'm really curious.
I want to know how deeply allegations of potential jury rigging and jury tampering were investigated, because there was talk that Miss Becky's phone kind of disappeared or was erased or factory reset. There was
oh, get the fuck out of here. No. I know this woman just did not. Okay, this was information I did not know, and please don't tell me that Becky Hill's phone. Okay, I missed that somewhere. No,
all this deeply allegations of potential jury rigging and jury tampering were investigated, because there was talk that Miss Becky's phone kind of disappeared or was erased or factory reset. There was all this chat about that, all this chatter about that. Also, she was friends with the forewoman, and she was seen walking around Moselle with the forewoman during the jury view. Did they ever go to the forewoman and say, hey, did they sit down with this forewoman and say, okay, just level with us. You're not going to be in trouble. What did you guys talk about? Can we see your cell phone? Did that ever happen?
Right. The extent of the investigation, I mean, we don't know anything, because there haven't been any charges filed. There hasn't been any information released. So we don't, in terms of the jury tampering, we don't really know.
So this is what she got. This is what she got. She got 3 years probation, 100 hours of community service, restitution of approximately $11,888 for improper bonuses she gave herself using county money. So this is what she ended up with. These were the charges. And we don't even know all the facts about the jury tampering and what kind of charges she could have been with that, left with that. And then we're just going to let that slide.
What happened?
What we do know happened was that Miss Becky was going to the egg lady and talking to her
Oh,
when
the
she
egg
shouldn't have
lady.
been.
Exactly.
I
So
remember
we know
that
that happened. We know Judge Newman. We know for a fact that he was not happy about that. So she was kind of sticking her nose where she shouldn't have been. And that's a little bit of smoke, if you don't ask me.
It's a lot of smoke. And, you know, we still don't know where that Facebook post that ultimately got the egg juror removed from the jury, where that originated. Because it was said it was from her ex-husband, but yet in reality, it had nothing to do with him.
I think there's another certainty in this case, Jen. And there's a certainty in this case, and that is that the AG's office does not want to retry this case.
No.
They do not want to
No.
retry the murder case for Maggie and Paul's murders. And, you know, nobody wants to probably retry a case once you've won. Nobody wants to do that. But do you have any inkling about why there's just such great resistance? Because I can't imagine after that hearing that we sat through in January of 2024 that there weren't things that they heard in that hearing that didn't give them pause.
You know, the only thing I can think of is there are a lot of, the Attorney General right now is running for governor. And this is the case. You know, this is one of the biggest cases of his career. There's a lot of careers that have been based on this trial and this conviction. So having to do it again, I don't think it would be a very good look.
It would be a terrible look.
Yeah.
But as I've said many times, you know, everybody deserves a fair trial. And they may very well, let's say Alec Murdaugh gets a new trial. You could retry this case with a totally new jury and still get the same result.
And likely would. I mean, we sat.
Right. Now that he's running for other offices, you know.
For the first trial, we saw all of the evidence, you know, but he is, just like everybody, entitled to a fair trial. And in my opinion, he did not receive that the first time around. I mean, there's no possible way to look at what happened.
I'm sorry.
That he did.
Sorry. Not sorry.
He pled guilty to all those financial charges. He isn't going anywhere anytime soon. He's in prison for decades.
He is in prison for decades and decades, both on the federal level and the state level. I mean, there's this whole kind of, it's very messy.
Right.
You know, it's very involved. But, you know, he does deserve a fair trial. And it's like, if Alec Murdaugh, you know, a member of one of the most prominent families in South Carolina can't get a fair trial, then who can?
Right. I mean, that was one of the most widely watched criminal trials in history. And with all of the public scrutiny on it and, you know, the notoriety of it, if we can't do it right the first time, it is sad. It's a sad state.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
And I agree, Abelis. He's going to come out in a pine box. There's no other way Alex is coming out of prison. I'm sorry. I do not see it. He's going to come out in a pine box. It's going to be, that's just the way it's going to be. And you got to sneak out. Time for dinner. See you tonight, Heos. Welcome back. All right. I missed you too, Sherry. I'm so glad you're back too, love. And yes, I will be at Heos tonight. Heo will be doing the second in our series, like it's my stream. She'll be doing the second part in her series on Rebecca Park, the young lady whose mother took her life and took her child. So you have a great evening, Sherry, and I will see you in a little while.
What happens in February, because I think we'll be able to get a good feeling based on the questions from the Supreme Court justices, which way they're leaning. I mean, they very well may look at this and say, you know what, I just don't see it. I don't see that there was jury tampering. They may say that. So he may not get a new trial. I think it's just a wait and see, like anything else.
It is. And, you know, even after that, if they were to, affirm his conviction, we could still very much look at it being overturned at the federal level. And I do think the chances are a little better at the Fourth Circuit.
That's what some lawyers have told me, that they believe that, say he didn't get a new trial at the state level, that the federal level is where a new trial would likely be granted.
Yeah, they
again, it's a
very
big wait and
clearly
see.
set
Yeah.
the standard at the federal level as a remmer in the Fourth Circuit.
Yep. Jen Wood, thank you so much. Always good talking with you.
Thank you.
Alec Murdaugh's lawyer, Dick Harpootlian, released the following statement. The guilty plea is not surprising. More importantly, the agency expected to impartially investigate these charges has a vested interest in avoiding any outcome that would question the verdict of the initial Alec Murdaugh murder trial. If Becky admittedly perjured herself in the jury tampering hearing held by Judge Toll, what else could she have lied about? And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette.
You're talking about Hio. And yes, she is crazy. So don't try to come back in here and say that you're not talking about Hio. We all know Hio's crazy, and I love her for being crazy. Okay. So we're gonna switch over to the tampon lady. As gross as that sounds. But real quick. Okay, I'm gonna play my comedy in the chaos earlier from when I almost fell out of my chair, okay? Y'all ready for this?
To say that in his presence, because I'd be happy to do that.
If you could do that, that would be great.
Let's bring them back in.
But why was he removed?
And for the record, Governor McClain has also executed his right to appeal.
I lose my chair, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Of course.
I don't. We just.
What the hell was that noise? I'm sorry. Did his chair just give out? I'm sorry. Coming from a fat chick. Okay. Did his chair just, I'm sorry. Rewind. When he sat down, I heard something go, woo! Okay. Comedy in the chaos, y'all. Comedy in the chaos. I have to do it. I'm dead. I'm dead. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. When I was over 300 pounds, I had chairs do that. So I can laugh about that. Okay. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. Oh. You're right, Cindy. I think that's what I needed to. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to share that. Okay, here, I have to redo it because I'm telling y'all, I lost my shit. And I needed to. I needed the comedy. We needed that brief moment of laughter to bring us back around. The guy sat in the chair and it went, ooh, and I was like, did that really just happen? It was so comical, y'all. I couldn't help myself. Okay, so we're gonna switch gears here. I will drop this in the chat. Y'all can go watch it without my commentary. I have no clue because I have not watched this. This is a Florida woman who dumped 75 used tampons in her ex-boyfriend's yard. I haven't watched this. This is from Scandal with Sierra Gillespie. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
A ton of tampons into their yard.
You heard that right. A Florida woman, a firefighter no less, has a breakup.
A firefighter?
And it seems like it did.
She was a firefighter too. Oh, this girl. She nasty. Okay. You got girl.
And on good terms. So she allegedly decorated his yard with 75 tampons.
Why were they looked like they might have been used. So that's absolutely freaking disgusting.
This is Scandal, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sierra Gillespie. Strange scene. Their front lawn was covered in tampons. According to an affidavit, there were 75 of these tampons that were, quote, stained red as if they were possibly used. So the ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend are like, what happened here? So they went to their cameras to see if anything suspicious was caught on a recording.
Again, another dumb person who didn't take into considerations that there's cameras everywhere. Everybody has camera. Well, almost everybody has a camera. You have Ring doorbells. You have cameras on the sides of your house. There's cameras on this traffic light. I think that they were colored red. Who exactly? I'm with K Swan. Who keeps this? Who? Lois. Who's the brave soul that went in the yard and picked up? As an officer of the law, could you imagine getting the phone call, sir, you need to come check out this crime scene. It's full of tampons.
Now, the night before, on September 29th, a dark pickup truck was seen on their recordings passing by this ex-boyfriend's home. The truck can be seen on video driving slowly past the house. Then the truck is seen waiting for the traffic to kind of clear up before a woman hops out of the back seat and is caught on camera throwing tampons into the yard. Now, to respect their privacy, the names of both this ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend are not listed in the court documents. So that's why I'm just referring to them as the ex-boyfriend and the new girlfriend. But what I can tell you is that the new girlfriend moved in with Gabrielle's ex-boyfriend, and it was her who reported this entire incident to the authorities. Now, investigators reviewed their footage from home and asked both the ex-boyfriend and the new girlfriend who would have done this. According to court documents, they both pointed the finger at Gabrielle, who was, quote, demonstrating she was unhappy her former boyfriend had moved on. The court docs also state that Gabrielle posted messages to social media, quote, talking badly about them and the fact that they are now together. So investigators looked into all of this information and made a decision. Okay.
So we have a jealous ex. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet and let them talk for a minute. And Abella says that she blamed her mom and aunt, though. So let's see if the story tells us that, because I haven't watched this. Y'all know I do these blind.
It's time we got to talk to Gabrielle. So back to the body cam we go. But just a warning, the audio is going to cut out a few times in this first clip just to protect the identities of Gabrielle's ex and his new girlfriend. So take a look.
Gabrielle, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I need to talk with you about an incident. Forgot her name.
I don't know. Okay. I didn't know he lived there.
I'll let Deputy James break down what he says happened.
On the 30th, your truck creeps by. It's all on video. I have video of it, so that's why I'm here. Your truck, very distinctive truck. You have the dog cages on the back. This particular day, you had a cover over the dog cages for whatever reason. I don't know what that was for. But you are seeing your truck seen passing by their house, going up the street a little bit, waiting until pretty much traffic is cleared. Then the truck turns around, comes back to the house. You're seen throwing tampons.
Okay.
A ton of tampons.
It's like he didn't want to say the word. Like it's a, well, I was going to say like it's a dirty word. In its true form, yes, it's a dirty word. In its true form, it's a disgusting word. He didn't want to say you threw a shitload of tampons on the yard, right? And why didn't he want to go back to her? I mean, she seems so lovely. You know what? If you do that to me, I'll be your huckleberry. Come on back. And we'll make it right, okay? And I'll give you my trash can to use next time, ma'am.
Tampons into their yard. While you're throwing tampons into the yard, another car pulls up behind the truck.
Okay.
pretty much because your truck's blocking traffic. So then your truck scoots up. And this is on camera. It's crystal clear
No,
camera.
you can tell me all about it.
Right. Your truck scoots up.
Rude.
Then I guess that car drives around. Then
What did that car do?
what car?
The second car.
Nothing.
Who
It
cares?
was just a car and just
Ma'am, who cares what the second car did? We're discussing what you did, and you were blocking traffic because all he's saying is that he can clearly see you on the video.
driving down the road. Like, it was just an
Oh,
unrelated.
so it's not relevant.
Not relevant.
Okay.
Other than it just came up behind your truck as the tampons are being thrown into the yard.
Okay.
After that, the truck scoots up.
Okay.
You get out of the truck, run back into the yard,
Okay.
throw some more tampons, and then leave. So I'm not asking if you did it. It's on crystal clear camera.
Okay.
So I'd be careful lying to me because I didn't just show up here.
Okay.
Okay.
So naturally, the deputy is going to ask some questions, and honestly, they're pretty valid.
So I guess I have a couple of questions. One is, my main question is, what was the point of that? And my other question is, obviously you weren't alone, so why are you throwing tampons into their yard?
Okay.
And who else was with you, and do they know the circumstances behind this? Those are my main two questions.
Okay. I can tell you, obviously I wasn't alone. I
Right.
was not the one throwing them in the yard. Obviously, those were the two people in the back. It was not me throwing them actively. One of those people are my aunt, who is not in this state. She lives in Ohio. The other person is actually my mother. It was actually my aunt's idea. I don't know why they came up with the idea. They were coming over here for dinner. I invited them over because I had a rough.
Your aunt and your mom?
Yes.
If it was your aunt and your mom, why would you even go along with that? Don't blame them for your nasty behavior. That's that right here, Mustang. That's disgusting and for spite. Yeah, the aunt's idea. What? And this has no, ma'am. Even if it was the aunt's idea, okay, which I highly doubt it, but if it was, dude, you could have said, "Nah, let's not do that shit. This is gross. This is disgusting."
Okay.
So my mom actually was making dinner. I had them come over, so that's why they were coming over. They
Okay.
showed up with all the. I don't know where the idea came from. I don't know what the rhyme or reason was. That was just something they came up with.
And I want to give props to Gabrielle. She's pretty honest and very straightforward. She says, yes, I was involved, but she says it was her mom and her aunt who were really the masterminds in this whole equation.
So is it three of you? I know you obviously you weren't alone because you can't throw tampons and drive the truck
No, I
at the
just
same
told you
time.
I wasn't alone.
Okay.
Those were the two other people with me.
Yeah, but you also told me you didn't know they lived there, which is a lie. So
Well, my mom knew that they lived there. I did not know that they lived there.
so whose house did you think you were going to?
Well, once we started doing it, I mean, I knew whose house we were going to, but I did not know up until that point where he lived.
Up until what point?
Up until driving up there.
Ma'am, if he's your ex, how do you not know where he lives and your aunt knows where he lives? I find that a little sus, a lot sus.
Because she had the address. I didn't know where to go.
And here's the question we started this episode with. Why?
Okay, so what's the point of driving to your ex's house to throw tampons in the yard? I mean, how old are you?
Again, I don't know the rhyme or reason behind.
No. Tell us how old you are, ma'am. Ma'am. He asked you how old I want to know how old you are because you're acting like you're 14. You look maybe about 26. So yeah, and her aunt lives in Ohio. So yeah, you're acting like tell us how old you are. You don't know the rhyme or reason, but tell us how old you are.
The idea behind it, I'm not sure. I said it was stupid. Figured it was dumb. I don't know. I guess they thought it would just be fucking stupid fun, I guess. I don't really know.
So your mom and your
I
aunt.
just went with it. Yes. And I can call my mom now and verify that.
Where's
but
your mom live?
in Oviedo.
And your aunt lives out of state?
Yes.
So your aunt was just here visiting and came up with the idea to go throw tampons.
That is 100% the truth. You can believe me or not, but that is 100% the truth.
Regardless of the truth, it's retarded. It's stupid.
I agree. It's stupid. It's what happened, though. Which is why I said it was dumb and we shouldn't be doing it. But I just went with it.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess peer pressure. I don't know. I just
peer pressure.
Peer pressure?
I don't know. I'm trying to give you a reason. I'm trying to level with you.
Okay.
I don't know.
No.
Okay, so when you left this house, you were the one driving. They were in the back of the car.
Yeah, they were in the back.
Or somebody was already in the back of the truck as you're driving
My
over
aunt
there.
was in the back.
Okay. What was the point of covering up the dog crates?
I just had a tarp over it because of all the rain. I already had the tarp back there. It was just back there.
Why cover the dog crates?
It was just back there because I was covering it from the rain.
Okay. So
that makes no sense either. Cover the dog crates because of the rain.
I have dogs I transport in there. I was just covering it.
And here's the next most pressing issue. Were these tampons used?
So just to recap, when you left this house, your intention is to go over there and throw, were they used tampons?
No.
Why were they looked like they might have been used? Just they just put red paint on them or something? Or
They put red paint on them. I did not.
okay, so they weren't used because that's absolutely freaking disgusting.
No.
Okay, so they put red paint on the tampons to simulate as if they were used.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there was a ton of them.
But the deputy isn't taking any lip from Gabrielle. He's like, I don't care if you didn't throw them. You're the one who drove the getaway truck.
Okay, so when you left this house, you put your aunt and your mom in the back of the truck. You drove up there, obviously knowing where you're going and what you're going to do. Get there, the tampons are thrown, and what? You just come back home?
Yeah, we just came back home. What I can tell you though is I'm not the mastermind behind this. So
She could have said, no, we went out for a margarita afterwards because we were just so exhausted from. Oh, this is making me crazy, guys. And her mom is going to talk. Are you serious, Abellis? Her mom is going to speak. Right, here we go. Mustang says, apple doesn't fall far from that tree. Yeah, she drove. She drove them. We high-fived and partied. Yeah, that's what I say. Go out for a margarita. Hell, get us some quesadillas and enjoy it.
with the verbiage of I, it's not correct. I mean, obviously there was someone else who made up the plan. Yes, I went with it 100%. I did drive my truck. Yes, I did.
So the story I just regurgitated you is correct.
The story is correct, but I am not the only one a part of it.
Okay, so what is she saying? Go ahead and go arrest my mom and aunt too because they're involved in this too? Are we trying to? What are you doing here, ma'am? Ma'am, what are you doing? What's your intentions?
How do you think that's relevant?
Well, it's relevant because if you put the blame all on one person when there's multiple.
I'm not. One of my questions was I would like to know who's with you. That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm not putting the blame all on you because.
And my mother.
Right. So
Which sounds crazy, but.
Extremely crazy. So if I tell you me and a friend of mine is going to go rob a bank and you come along robbing the bank, is it relevant that you're not alone?
Yeah.
Really?
I would think you would want to like include everybody in it.
I do want to include everybody, but but is it relevant you're present at that bank robbery?
That you're relevant, that you're present.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, you can't rob a bank and then go, well, it wasn't my idea.
I'm not arguing.
I wasn't the mastermind. It wasn't my idea. Well, you kind of are. You're kind of downplaying the fact that you weren't the mastermind and you weren't the only one there.
No, I'm not trying to downplay it. I'm just trying to make sure we're on the same page with what happened. That's all I'm trying to do.
Right. The story I just regurgitated you is correct.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Whether you're the mastermind or not is completely irrelevant. You partook in this nonsense. This is nonsense.
It is nonsense.
Okay.
And here's where things get even more intense. Gabrielle works in public safety. At the time of this video, she was actually working as a firefighter in nearby Orange County.
And you are a firefighter.
Yes, sir.
Behavior like this is going to get you thrown in jail. You're going to be on news because you're a firefighter. It's going to cost you your career. I've been doing this 14 years. I've never even seen no stupid like that. So your mom lives in Oviedo. Your aunt is at a state. What state? Just Ohio. So so she's just down visiting. Your mom was over visiting.
Yes.
Okay. Come have a seat right here. I need to make a phone call real fast.
At this point, Gabrielle is like, can I call my mom?
Okay. Can I call my mother?
Do you want to call your mom? If you want to, sure.
Correct.
She's just here with me.
That's fine. I didn't know she was in.
Are you wanting me to talk to your mom, or what?
No, I can talk to her unless you want to, but
I didn't know the reason you were
I
calling
was
your
just
mom.
asking if I can.
You can if you want. Sure.
Okay.
I don't mind that.
Am I having any charges pressed against me?
Potentially.
Potentially in means of
Yes, Lois. Yes.
Why would I or wouldn't? Like
What do you mean?
potentially.
I don't understand
Like
your
what are
question.
the I guess what are the circumstances in which I would versus not?
That's why I'm making a phone call.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get back to Gabrielle's phone call because it's just a little tense with Deputy James. But first, he has to make a call to his superior because he's making it clear. He thinks that Gabrielle should be charged.
All right. So I came over here, talked with her. She fully admitted to everything. She says the idea was her, she has an aunt who lives in Ohio and her mom lives over in Oviedo. Her aunt and mom are over here visiting her. The aunt and her mother came up with this idea. They already had the tampons, which they weren't really used. They were.
Okay. Who has, just raise your hand in the chat. Who has 75 tampons at their house? I'm sorry. Don't they come in boxes of like 20 or something? I don't know because I had a hysterectomy in 1993, so I wouldn't know. Do they come in boxes of 75 now? I need to know this. Oh, you can go to Sam's or Costco. That's what you can go to Sam's or Costco. Yeah, that's what it. You can go to Sam's or Costco and you can buy you a crate full of tampons. Where do you get 7? Did they buy name brand? Did they buy the cheap ones? Did they get the cheap ones, the great value brand? Or did they spend money on what's the brand? Kotex or something? I don't even know anymore. You see, Apellis is like me. Nope. Had a hysterectomy in 1889. See, mine was 1993. I would have no clue. You think of Costco too? I'm like, where are you going to come up with a box of 75? Ma'am, I have so many questions.
Red paint on the tampons.
They are.
So they actually prepared a bunch of tampons with red paint. Loaded all the tampons up in the truck. Gabriella here says I was the driver of the.
He said. He said loaded them up in the truck. So they okay. Now I'm like really trying to picture this. These women got together and took them out of the little tube thingies because if I remember correctly, they're in and look, my camera's fucking up again. They took them all out of the tubes. They colored them all red with spray paint or whatever. Had to let them dry a little bit, and then. What in the actual fuck is happening? I'm sorry. I'm like, what? I don't even know. Temu. Here we go. They ordered Temu. And Grady Judd. Oh, could you imagine Grady Judd talking about? Oh my Lord. Who? I mean, and this officer having to call his superior and explain this to his superior. Could you imagine as his superior getting this phone call? Yes, sir. Should I arrest this lady? She just threw 75 red tampons on her ex's yard. And I want to see her court. Do they even get into her court hearing or anything? It's just all body cam. I could imagine. Could you imagine this going in front of a judge? Okay, I'm going to hit play and I'm going to go back there and adjust my camera because y'all see we got flickers.
Truck. My mom and aunt were the ones in the back of the truck. So after they finished painting all of these tampons, at the house here. They loaded up all the tampons. Mom and aunt got in the back of the truck. Gabby drove the truck over there, obviously knowing where they're going. Tampons were thrown, and then they drive off and came back here. She says it was her mom and aunt's idea. She just went along with it. Who? How old is your mom and aunt?
I'm sorry?
How old is your mom and aunt? Approximately.
My mom.
How old are you? Like 30?
My mom is.
How old are you?
28.
Yeah, she's 28. Her mom's
She's 28.
50.
There, we found out her age. She's 28. See, I had guessed about 24, and I think it was Lois that said 23. So we were close. I knew she was under 30. Now, are we going to find out that? So if she's 28, her mom's 50. Okay.
You what? 50 something? 54, and her aunt's
I honestly don't know.
probably
Closer
roughly
than my mom.
ish 50, 40, 50 something. You're old people doing this nonsense.
Okay, so mom knows.
Yeah. Yeah, but they actually bought all the tampons. They put red paint on the tampons to make it look like they were used, loaded up all this drove all the way over there, threw them in the yard, and then came back. She admitted to everything. What do you want to do? I already told you what I want to do. I think it's stalking.
Stalking? Good charge.
Well, it's not a prank with friends. It's prank. This is I'm hard. Yeah, a prank is me doing it to you. That's a prank.
The deputy wraps up this call and then comes back to Gabrielle just now, who's getting in contact with her mom.
Well, it is. So I don't know what's going to happen. I just need to make you aware because I'm out here by myself and Dad can't do anything from the hospital. So.
And the dad's in the hospital? The dad's in the hospital. And the mom is over here with the daughter. Oh, what is wrong with this family? That is not that. Yeah, exactly. I'm here with Abellas. That's more than a prank. It is stalking. That is, yeah, this is way beyond a prank. Oh my.
25, can you just stay with that bike?
I don't know.
Just said he was in the hospital. Oh no.
Nothing so far.
If he's in the hospital, mom's out running around throwing tampons with the daughter.
My mind's made up. I think you should go to jail.
Okay.
The sergeants are discussing what should happen to you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to follow the direction. But if it was up to me, you'd already be in the back of that car going to jail.
Ooh, I like this cop. Yeah, I was just thinking that too, Southern. When I read the red Kool-Aid, just make a big batch of red Kool-Aid, and just put them all in there, absorb the red Kool-Aid, and then what? Oh, this is chaotic. And the cop's already like, hey, you had already been in the back of my police car if it was up to me.
I'm aware I didn't do anything, but I'm the one right here. So just so you know.
I find it amazing you still think you didn't do anything.
Someone's having a bad day. So
I'm not having a bad day.
Bitch.
I'm trying to be kind, but I did explain the story. I admitted it. I explained that I did not throw anything. I explained whose idea it was and what happened, and you guys.
Just like robbing a bank, you are the getaway driver, ma'am. You drove. No different. If it's a crime being committed, you're involved. It's this girl.
Freedom and the whole thing, but you're in a different county.
And here's where the deputy gets really salty.
If you would like, she'd ask if she could speak to you. Is that okay or no?
Actually, probably not, because the fact that you're still saying here you didn't do anything and I'm having a bad day is ridiculous. You need to grow up.
Ooh.
Well, he doesn't want to speak with you, so I guess I'm just I'll let you know if I can what happens.
Not if it's paint, but it's still gross. Yeah, there you go.
He's just waiting on whatever his sergeant says, or however long that takes. So you're more than welcome to drive here, especially if I have to leave and the dogs are here. At least you're over in this county.
Mom's coming?
I don't know yet. I don't know anything.
Mom's coming, y'all.
So why don't you just make your way over here? So if I'm not here, at least you're over here in the area.
Right. Bonus, we get to see mom too. I mean, maybe mom gets arrested or ticketed
So
too.
maybe I'll see you, or maybe I'll connect with you later. Okay. I don't know. Okay.
Deputy James levels with her, basically saying, Gabrielle, I want to take you to jail.
The reason they're discussing it is because we're trying to determine the best course of action here. There's nothing wrong with us taking you to jail. We're trying to determine the best course of action here.
I completely understand that. I completely understand you're just doing.
See, they could just give her a citation and a later court date, you know, but her shitty attitude, I'd arrest her just because she has a shitty attitude. And that's just me being honest.
Your job?
Yeah, trust me, I'm having a great day. I'm not having a bad day.
When I say I didn't do anything, I do mean in the aspect of physically throwing said tampons, fake tampons, whatever you want to call them.
Well, I try to give you an analogy to get you to understand something. If me and you go to rob a bank and you're just a getaway driver, you still go to jail for bank robbery.
Mm-hmm.
You're part of it. It doesn't matter if you physically did something or not. I don't know how that concept is difficult to get. The bank robbery driver doesn't get to go free because he just drove the car. There's a specific section of the law that allows anybody involved to get the same crime. It's called being a principal to something.
Is he getting eaten up by mosquitoes? It's making me itch. Is she thinking about it?
This wouldn't be extremely complicated about you going to jail or not, but one of the biggest things about it is you're doing.
That's where the audio cuts out. Now, the deputy does get another call, and it's bad news for Gabrielle.
And he never invited her over to the house.
No. I specifically asked multiple times about stuff like that, and neither one of them said that.
Find out what the fire station she works at, so I can put it on the invoice.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. See you.
He said find out what fire station she works at.
Well, unfortunately, they agree with me, so you're going to be going to jail today. Is that your mom there?
She didn't do it. I did it.
Okay, she was along. All three of you theoretically did it. Again, it's fortunate you're not here or you'd be facing the same charge. I gave her an analogy. If I go to rob a bank with somebody and she's just a getaway driver, she's also affiliated with the bank robbery. She doesn't get to go free just because she drove the car.
Yeah, understood. And that makes perfect sense.
Now, remember, Gabrielle is still on the phone with her mom, and it's on speakerphone, so you can actually hear her reactions.
Are you serious?
There's 2 dogs in there, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, wow.
Yeah, you got what you guys do. You're stalking. It's a crime.
Well, that wasn't the intent. It was supposed to be a joke.
A prank, or it's called stalking.
Not my kind of joke, guys.
I actually had no idea. Because that was just not the intent. And it was my sister.
They'll bark at you, but they're not going to do nothing.
Kind of a lot going on here at once. So while Deputy James is speaking with Gabrielle's mom, the other deputy speaks to Gabrielle about her dogs, who you can hear throughout this entire video barking from inside.
Yeah, you got what you guys do. You're stalking. It's a crime.
Well, I mean, that wasn't the intent. It was supposed to be a joke. But I hear you.
Buddy, this isn't a prank, or it's called stalking.
You need to stay seated. Okay. I'll get your shirt in a minute.
I actually had no idea because that was just not the intent.
Are they aggressive?
They'll bark at you, but they're not going to do nothing. They
I'm
might
sorry,
run out.
I can't hear you. What were you
Sorry,
saying?
if I stand up and I can help you,
Fine.
I'm not going to.
What were you saying? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean, you can walk in there with me. I'll help you. I'll just throw them in a room or something. They're friendly. They just don't know.
All right, go back. Or if you can go forward a little bit more so they can come out. Grab your shoes.
But they think it's just a joke. It was just a prank. Okay. Did y'all ever think that we'd be talking about tampons on the Rebel Ramada channel? Never thought that this would be a topic on my channel, but here we are. Here we are. Yeah, and that clicking sound, you can't mistake it. You can't mistake it. Yeah, and what kind of sense of humor does a stupid family have? Glad I don't have dinner with those sickos. Right? Imagine having dinner at their house. Now knowing them, who they are and stuff, I wouldn't want to eat dinner at their house. And this was on October 3rd of this year. So it was fairly recent.
They're not real, right? I mean, do we know that?
How does that matter?
The mom think they're not real.
I'm fully aware. That would have been a whole nother charge, but she told me they were painted. But the fact that you guys purchased tampons, painted tampons, loaded them up in the truck,
We'll get all
all
that
the way over
situated. We're
there,
not leaving it.
threw them in the yard. All of it's on camera. It's called stalking. You can't do that.
Now back to the phone call with Gabrielle's mom. Here's what happens as Gabrielle is taking care of the dogs.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What were you saying?
If I stand up and I can help you, I'm not going to.
What were you saying, ma'am? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, that's okay. Apologies. I said it was just, we weren't, I don't think we understood that the joke, that was honestly the intent.
Well, this is, it's not a joke. I mean, you're throwing tampons.
But they're not real, right? I mean, do we know that?
How does that matter?
I just want to make sure everybody's aware that it's actually not a virus.
I'm fully aware. That would have been a whole nother charge, but she told me they were painted. But the fact that you guys purchased tampons, painted tampons, loaded them up in the truck.
Welcome in, 80s. Good timing. We're talking about tampons. Nice to see your feet, love. Nice to see your feet.
Drove all the way over there, threw them in the yard. All of it's on camera. It's called stalking. You can't do that.
Understood. So what do I do next to help? I'm on my way over there. So is there somewhere else I need to be going?
No, there's nowhere else. So you can, okay, she's standing right here. You can come here and do whatever she needs you to do at the house. Because.
Oh, Mustang, you killed me today. Oh.
So she'll have to spend the night in jail. Tomorrow, she must go in front of a judge. At that point, the judge could release her. I'm assuming you don't have criminal background?
No.
Okay, so most likely a judge will release her. Almost certainty a judge will release her tomorrow. Now, her release, I'm kind of telling you and her this at the same time, her release will have certain conditions. One of those conditions is certainly going to be no more contact with the victims or anything like that. It might be no drugs or alcohol. I mean, whatever those conditions are upon her release.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Mom, come on over to the house. We want to talk to you about this too. Mom, hello. Mom, come on. I have a wife. Mama can come running in here. She gonna think I'm talking. The dementia and Alzheimer gonna kick in, and she gonna come in here thinking I'm calling her. I need to tone down the mom. 80s. He's like, wrong chat. I'm out. Yes, this lady decided to take 75 tampons and put spray paint on them red, and throw them in her ex's yard and cause what we are now calling a premeditated tampon riot. I love it. I love it. Right? No more. Only pads for you from now on. Ma'am, you can't get those in prison. You can't get those in prison.
Yeah.
Like, again, almost my experience tells me she will be released tomorrow with those conditions.
And how do you think her firefighter buddies are going to feel about this? How do you think about the people down at the firehouse are going to be like, oh, that was a good prank? Or are they going to be like, oh, you're some dumb bitch? You know, I want to know what her friends think.
And as long as she abides by those conditions, this will not get any worse.
Gotcha. So, her father's having surgery tomorrow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Like what time?
Around 2:30, he's supposed to go in.
Okay, that is almost a certainty she'll be out by then if a judge releases her.
Okay, and where exactly will she go? I'm not familiar with.
She's going to go to the Volusia County Branch Jail. It's the only jail in the whole county. You can pop it in Google and it'll pop up. It's over in Daytona Beach.
Okay, it's in Daytona Beach.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll Google that.
Yep, there's Volusia County Branch Jail. It's the only jail in the county.
Okay, and how will I know, like, how to, like, if she's going, when she's going in front of a judge, or like?
Tomorrow is Friday. First appearance is, I think it's early afternoon. Don't quote me on that. You can always call the jail and ask. But however, she can make phone calls from in there. I'm going to take her phone so she can have. I know nobody remembers phone numbers nowadays, so she can write phone numbers out of her phone. And she can call you from in there, or she'll definitely have her phone when they release her, so she can make calls on her phone as well.
Okay, all right. And is there anything else I need to know to do?
Any other than what she might want you to do? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll let you talk. Hold on, I'll let you talk with her. There you go.
All right, thank you.
I guess I mean just freaking come here and just take care of the dogs. They've already been fed and stuff. Just take care of them in the morning. Atlas and Oakley are free roaming right now.
And yeah, I'll be there, and then I'll wait for your call, and I'll come get you.
Okay.
Wow.
Tell Dion that
I'm so sorry.
honestly, I don't.
Is she good?
I don't
I just started.
Dion. So.
Okay.
I was really trying to keep my comments to myself about her hair, but since you brought it up, since you said it in chat, what the fuck is this hairstyle? What is this? I didn't want to, y'all. Okay, we talked about the big guy in the chair going, you know. Okay, let's do it with this one. What is this hairstyle? I've never seen anything like it. I mean, we got a skunk thing. I don't even know. I don't know. I wasn't going to bring it up, but what? I don't know. Cindy. It is Florida. It's Florida. Maybe Lois. It's not I'm too old for it. Oh, it's not a new style. Okay. Cindy's got the answers. She had nice blonde hair. Why did she dye some? I think it's the opposite, because I think that white is a dye. I think that is a. Okay.
Baby, I am so sorry.
Well, I was trying to reconcile with her, and so I don't
Reconcile
want to see
with
her son ever again. So
What? She was friends with what? What did I miss? She was friends with her, and she was trying. What? She was trying to reconcile. Ma'am, throwing tampons on a yard is not reconciling. I'm sorry.
Baby, I am so sorry.
Well, I was trying to reconcile with her, and so I don't want to see her or her son ever again. So good thing I have other certifications where I can fix any detrimental causes. We should have called.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought this was a joke. I had no idea it would be this.
Yes.
None.
It's fine. Just take care of the dogs, and I guess I'll call you when I can. I'm in my PJs, so I mean, if I can get clothes eventually tomorrow before.
Pepe Le Pew. She's just gonna wear an all black outfit. She's already got the hairstyle going. Pepe Le Pew. Anybody remember Pepe Le Pew? I know you gotta remember Pepe Le Pew from the Looney Tunes cartoons. I know, right? What other? I mean, she has to have a certification to be a firefighter. So what is she even talking about? No, I'm just off the rails. I needed to come back. This is my comeback stream. I've been depressed. I've had seasonal affective disorder. It's really screwed with me this year, and I needed this stream. So I appreciate everybody being here. This has been a total chaos. You know, Pepe Le Pew. And what was his girlfriend? Oh, what was his girlfriend's name? Oh, I can't even remember. Yeah, she's leaving her dogs alone. I know. But mom will probably come and take care of the dogs. And hopefully, mom won't get arrested either. Maui? I don't know. I can't speak French. So, yeah. But, yeah, the skunk. I like the skunk. Yes. He was loving with the cat from Looney Tunes. Reckons.
Want to put on pants?
I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Am I going to go in front of a judge in what I'm wearing now?
No. When you get to jail, you're going to be dressed out in orange.
Oh, fantastic.
Do you want to put on some pants? Do I get to go in front of the judge? You're going to go in front of the judge in orange, ma'am. You're not. Penelope the pussycat. Lois. See? Penelope. She's right. Lois is right. Penelope. See? Yes.
Do you want to put on pants?
I mean, yeah, that'd be great. Am I going to go in front of a judge in what I'm wearing now?
No. When you get to jail, you're going to be dressed out in orange.
Oh, fantastic. I love that. Tell Dion to go herself, please. Respectfully. I'm going to grab pants. So I love you. Please give me the mouse and take care of the dogs.
Dion.
I love you. I've got it.
Okay, bye.
All right, baby. Bye.
After this, Gabrielle goes to switch into a new pair of pants as the deputy calls the new girlfriend, the woman who's now dating Gabrielle's ex.
Hey, this is Deputy James. I'm at her house. I got her to speak on what happened, and she is under arrest. Yep. You're very welcome. I'm sorry that happened to you. You're very welcome. And I'm sorry what happened at the first incident as well.
You know what? You know what? Part of her charges, make her do community service. But before she ever did any of her community service, she needs to go clean this lady's yard. She needs to go pick up all the trash out of her yard. And you know what? Give her some scissors and let her cut the grass with scissors while she's there. Yeah, let's do that. Is that it? No, that's the cop's vehicle. That's the cop's vehicle, I hope.
I apologize for that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
And then it's finally time for Gabrielle to be taken to jail.
Where's your phone?
Not with me.
No.
Do you want to take it?
They were
Well, I handed
painted.
it to you.
They were painted red.
I
was Lois.
Did I not hand it to you?
Let her go clean bathrooms, latrines. Remember back in the day, well, like y'all are all my age or something, when we used to go to summer camp and you had to clean little latrines was part of your summer camp, your little duties. Everybody had their little duties each day. and you had to clean latrines. I think we need to give her the job of cleaning latrines only for her community service. She could only clean latrines, porta potties, that kind of stuff. She can't. You're just a baby. Get out of here, Hannah. You ain't no baby. It's a lot of effort for a pank. It was 75. And Hannah, you were gone, but where did they get them? They go to Costco, Sam's. 75 is a lot. And I need to know, did they buy the name brand? Did they get the off brand? Who paid for them? Abella says with her teeth, and Mustang says no gloves. So she's going to be cleaning all that. I know, Hannah, you're the same age as my daughter. You're the same age as Muffins. Rest stop bathrooms. Yes, all the dirty bathrooms. That needs to be her community service for doing this. You bet they went cheap? She's a firefighter. And God, I want to know what her mom is. Honk Swan? Honk Swan. That's K-Swan? Yeah, K-Swan's here. I don't know who Honk Swan is, but okay.
Oh, sorry, it's right here. I got it. Yeah.
Get in the back of my truck, ma'am.
Did those tighten up? Okay. Thank you.
On the drive to jail, Gabrielle asks a couple of questions, and she alleges that her ex's new girlfriend is actually stalking her. Also, a warning before I play the clip. There's some radio chatter going on in the background, so just keep that in mind while you're listening.
She's been stalking me for the past couple days.
Meaning what?
She's been following with everything I'm doing online. Which she has everything.
Lois, KD Bell is K-Swan. They got us at these little names right now. Yeah, that's K-Swan. KD Bell, it's K-Swan. Rude, got a phone call.
And I have her blocked there, like a 90 degrees. But she's been trying to watch me through my friend's stuff, and she's
been watching you through your friend's stuff.
That's really weird. Why would she do that? Off the bat.
I would say, if I had to guess, probably about 100 yards from you is that.
But watching you on social media is not stalking. I mean, it's not a crime of stalking. It's just.
Oh, hello, sir. Dude, could you repeat? I know a lot of YouTubers that really need that little bit of advice. Watching you on social media, it's not a crime. Okay. Anybody else hear that? Do we need to clip that and play that for a few YouTubers out there? I won't name names.
Being nosy, I guess, or. What's that? Well,
I wasn't naming
unfortunately, what you guys did is stalking.
Once again, the audio cuts out to protect the names of the victims. Here's where it comes back.
So stalking because my mom found his address?
No, stalking because what you guys planned and went over there and did.
So the charge is stalking?
Yeah, your charge is stalking, yes.
I'm assuming he's the one pressing the charges.
They both are. If somebody wants to press charges.
She wants to know, I assume, are they both pressing charges? He says they both are.
Is the state picks up the charges.
The conversation wraps up, and suddenly Gabrielle is already at the jail.
Did you guys start coming earlier? Or just
No, I did not.
talk to people tonight and
Came earlier what?
Did you guys start coming earlier tonight?
No, I did not. I did not try coming earlier.
Gabrielle Franz was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor stalking back in October, but I called the courthouse just today for an update, and since then, her charges have been dismissed. So seems like that's where today's episode of Scandal is going to leave us. Now, if you have...
Okay, could you... That would be so off the rails, okay? No, it's not too soon, Abellis. It's not too soon. It's not too soon. And we got one more that we're gonna watch. And then Hio will be live. This is about 20 minutes. This is a student exposes a tweaking teacher. So we have a crazy teacher out here doing horrible rugs at school, and a student exposes them. We're going to watch that next. Yes. And Lauren's copyright claim from Hidden True Crime, Lauren Matthias, I will say it, it was tossed out of copyright court. Yes, that has been tossed out. So let's share this tab. And because we are part of the allegedly speculating family, Hannah has asked, we'll take a moment to read allegedly speculating Jess's new statement so that everybody knows. I want y'all to all be aware she's trying to get back up online. She says, hello, speculating family. Went to the Verizon store today. They have towers down in my area and working on them due to my request to try to fix the internet. Towers will be back up at 6 a.m. Central Time. If it's not better by then, you'll go to a different provider. I will try my best to come live tomorrow or the day after. I do have a few surprises for you all as an apology for having to wait so long, so don't miss it. Schedule the live in hours in advance, so make sure you have your notifications on. Thank you, loves. So you know, she's on it. She will be back, and I miss her, and I'm ready for her to get back to streaming because y'all know that's where we all hang out. But we will be with Hio tonight. So I will drop her live. That will be after mine. So let's play this and see what's going on with this, because the student exposes this teacher, this bad teacher out here tweaking in school, mind you. Yes, she will be back. She will be back. We miss her. I adore her. And rumor has it, I won't say it's true until I see it for myself, but rumor has it that she's going to be on camera. I can't redirect from this channel until I'm monetized. Once I'm monetized, I'll be able to redirect and we'll get the little cute little buttons and all that stuff. I'm excited about that. So once we get there, I do know how to redirect. I can with the True Crime channel, which, yeah, we're not going to talk about the True Crime channel. Don't get me going there because you're going to depress me. Is tweaking? Yeah, tweaking is different than twerking. Very different. Very different. Two totally different worlds. I used to be able to twerk, but that was when I was real overweight and I could really do some moves. I don't think I could twerk anymore. I don't know that I would try. I might throw out a hip or something. So let's hit play on this and see what's going on with this.
At a middle school in Barrytown, Vermont, when a school resource officer is waved into the principal's office where one teacher is about to find herself in big trouble.
I'm so ashamed of myself.
Hang on, move this up here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad person.
No, you're not a bad person. You made an unfortunate choice.
No.
You're not a bad person.
I'm such a... No. What have I done? What do I need? Oh my God.
She is really out of it. I from someone who used to live that lifestyle for many years due to my sister's abuse, this might be a hard one.
37. I'm going to write that down.
Police identify the woman seen here as 47-year-old Melissa Martin, a substitute teacher who allegedly just admitted to using cocaine after faculty said a student alerted them of her odd behavior.
Under oxygen is 98%. I'm sorry, what was that? 98% oxygen.
No.
He just said Coca-Cola.
I'm so sorry. I know. Oh my God, my family is gonna be so.
So, did she show up like
What have I done? Oh my God.
Math.
The kids
That was my rug of choice, was math mixed with Coca-Cola. So yeah, I went through that stage. Yeah, for about 5 years, thanks to my sister. But I'm over that. Been clean for 5. I've lived the best 5 years of my entire life. So I can look at this lady and I can see she's in distress. And I know the feeling. And it's a very hard feeling.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Let them get into the cafeteria and then we are going into a clear the halls for the entire school. Okay, I don't know if the ambulance.
He said elementary. I heard
I'm already on it. You all set? Yep.
Oh my
I don't know.
God.
Did you guys already send
No, I'm
one?
gonna tell you why. It's your privacy. So that the ambulance can come and make sure that you're okay. It's your privacy.
She's saying she doesn't need one right now.
I want to go home. Oh my God.
Send them anyways, and she can just decline them when they get here.
Like, I have some.
That's good. Thank you.
Even if they send them and she declines them when they get there, they're going to take her to jail. They're going to take her to jail. Oh, I am very proud of myself, Lois. I am so proud of where I am today. I am so proud. And I don't mind admitting it. You know, the first year or two, I was really reserved and I didn't want to talk about it. And I'm still ashamed, but I wouldn't be where I am today had I not lived that life and done what I did. I was never into crime. I don't have charges or anything. You're not going to find anything like that in my background ever. But I do admit there was 5 years almost of my life that was just reserved for that horrible existence. I would never go back and relive it. But I am where I am today because of that. So.
In your coat here at school. And did you use it? Are you guys okay? Did you use it?
No, please help me.
Yeah.
No, I haven't used it at school.
Where's her stuff?
She has cocaine in the building right now.
That's what.
I'm going to hit play and I got to answer this. It's my oncologist.
Yeah,
We're going.
Well, there's no way she didn't do it here.
Yeah.
That's on immediately.
Melissa is taken to an ambulance while the officer follows a staff number to the classroom where the suspect allegedly said she had cocaine stashed in her jacket.
Where is her stuff? In the classroom? Is she a teacher here? No. 575, 573. I'm not slide for you.
I don't know if it's her stuff or not. She said it's in her jacket. That's a jacket. I'm not going to touch it.
575, 573. You want to slide over here? Is this 100%
I'm not.
the right girl?
It might not be. Let me call.
I can have the canine go over and just do a sniff. Right, right, rum.
That's 100% her stuff.
Hey, you want to slide on over to the school and bring the code in? Teacher brought cocaine to school and is high right now. Yeah, I probably need to do a sniff on her stuff to take it. It's a chick and she's like visibly high. Like, she's in Erica Pearson's office, like tweaking right now. I'm in the classroom where supposedly she had the coke. I mean, she has it here. She didn't show up high. Like, she is like tweaking right now.
So, sorry, that phone call just kind of threw me off for a minute there. We're going to get back to our thoughts. Forget that we had that phone call. Anyways, if she's tweaking like this right now, she cannot say that she did not do it recently. And she has it at school with her right now at this moment. It is in her stuff. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And this is an elementary school. What is wrong with people? Yeah, and I was gonna. This looks more like the math stuff. It doesn't look so much Coca-Cola to me. It looks more mathish.
She told me it's in here.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because of all this, all the picking and the itch and all that. Yeah, that was a real problem. It was a real problem that I had was fidgeting and my hands and I was always messing with my hair and my face and picking and things. So yeah, this does not, I'm just telling y'all my experiences, my thoughts, my opinions. Do your own research, but this does not, and I think Hannah's even in agreement with me. It doesn't look like Coca-Cola to me. But you know, they have their little testing, they can do it. And again, when I did it back in the day, it was mixed. It was the Coca-Cola and the math mixed, was the way my sister taught me. So yes, and I will throw my sister under the bus. I have no relationship with her now. I haven't spoken to her in 5 years. So and that's fine with me. I've bettered my life without her, but that's the way I was taught, was to mix the two, and you got it really good. It's disgusting. But yes, this looks, and here even, yeah, it looks like math.
That's enough for me to do it, right? Because I'm school.
I don't know about your policies, but legal standard. I mean, we'll probably charge her with something if.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure she has something. Yeah. If she has something, we'll probably charge her. So we'll just wait until we ever see her with her dog and the dog around it. And I can also go ask her if she'll let us search. But
Next, a canine officer arrives to sniff out any potential drugs.
say?
Train drugs in your report.
I will stop to say, I am not monetized. And Cindy, I appreciate you. I appreciate you more than you know.
The canine officer heads right to the desk area and signals that an odor of narcotics was detected, according to a police report.
Jesus, let go and have some manners. Do you want to pull the backpack out and see if she hits on the coat too? She had said it's in the coat.
The fact that a child reported that the teacher was acting weird. Yeah. How would they be able to know to spot something like that? And I will go up to this comment again, because now I'm having a memory also, is that was also one of the rugs that my sister would give me, that mixed with, there was another medicine that she took, and she would give me those two. And we drove all the way to Tennessee one night. I was higher than fuck because she needed me to drive, and it was Adderall and something else. And she would have, and she mixed, she told me to take them together. And I was stupid. I was gullible. I did anything my sister asked. So, you know, yeah. I don't know what grade. I just know that it was elementary. No, it wasn't Ativan. It was another type of medication for ADHD is what it was. And them mixed together. I was up for 48 hours. I drove from Houston, Texas, all the way to Tennessee, all in one day, drove there and drove all the way back. One trip, no sleep, no rest. I was blown.
Lakota.
That's right in the same spot.
I think just based on her saying it's in the code.
Order's there anyway.
Okay, we'll just see all of her stuff. She'll probably consent to it, but the essays, yeah, the essays want us to Mirandize her too.
I know, you hear the puppy?
Did
you know you guys care she used if it was the car and the thing?
She ended up telling us, I mean, she tried to tell she told the EMTs again that she used it this morning, and he was like, no, when? And she just said, I don't know. And then he said how much. She said, I don't know. But she said, I just kept putting it on my tongue. So she was rubbing it in the gums and her tongue.
I just want to make sure it wasn't like in a bathroom somewhere and then in the trash.
Or right here. She's just.
Yeah. It's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah, I guess so.
Have that nerve.
What was that? 35 seconds?
Oh, the students did? How did it come into you
She's
guys?
quick with it. She's always. She knows when she's working. It's like
something was just reported, and I was face to face with Melissa, and I'm like, something's off, and I got.
And then I looked at her and said, what did you do?
Yeah.
Because
so the students, but they weren't already at the recess at that point?
No, an 8th grade student on his way stopped in. He was getting ready, they were getting ready to go, and he literally said she's high. But he also comes from a background in which he would be able to identify that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wild, isn't it?
And then when I saw her, it was obvious.
Oh, it's completely obvious.
Yeah.
And I knew that it wasn't. Actually, I kind of thought maybe she had taken meth, to be honest with you. But
Yeah. Nothing felt pretty similar. Both stimulants.
No.
So.
Enough.
All right.
She's like,
Thank you, guys.
We'll head up to the hospital and we'll deal with her. And
Thank you. We will probably wait till you guys get outside before we let it clear the hall so that you guys can walk through.
You heard that right. A staff member said an 8th grade student told faculty that the substitute teacher was high before.
There's our answer, an 8th grade student. So I thought they said elementary, but I guess that would be junior high if it's 8th grade. Yeah, she was you don't have to have, you don't have to be certified as a sub to sub in Florida. So anybody can get a job substituting and not have any type of degree or any type of college education? Yeah, and you know what? Thinking about that, a 13 to 15-year-old, be aware of their surroundings to know that this is going on. It's The Sixth Sense. Yeah, I love that movie. That was your quote. Yeah. You know, looking back, me as an 8th grader, I wouldn't have known. Now I can look at it and see it and recognize it. But back then, as that age, I wouldn't have, because it wasn't that prevalent, you know. Not that I was aware of. The teacher said the kid comes from a background to know. Oh God. And that is sad. That is really, really sad. Oh, it is here in Texas. Yeah. You know what? Now that I think about it, my mom substitute teached. Look, I can't even speak English. Substitute taught. And she only had her GED. Yeah, now that I think about it. So yeah, you really don't need a whole lot to be able to substitute. That's interesting. Where's Maria? We need Maria. Maria's our resident teacher here. I miss Maria. Anybody see Maria out there? Tell her I said, hey.
Staff intervened. Next, one officer meets Melissa at the hospital, where she's not exactly calming down.
Which room is the teacher in who's brought in that's high? The teacher who's high. B0?
B0.
Thank you. It's over here, isn't it?
Oh, great. No, it's right in front of you.
Oh, awesome.
There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Melissa, other than cocaine, have you used any other substances? Are you snorting or injecting?
Snorted. It's on my tongue.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I fighting. And he's like a narcissist. And I stayed up all night looking for an apartment.
How much cocaine do you think you're using? Every day.
Which I've never tried it ever. So it's dumps. I'm worried about, like, yes. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt anybody.
And me saying that about my mother, this was in the 80s. So I don't know what the requirements are in the state of Texas anymore. I just remember in the 80s as a teenager, my mom substitute teaching for supplemental income that we needed when my dad was laid off. So that's the only reason I can remember that because my mom had only had a GED to substitute. But like I said, things may have changed. This was in the 80s. So, and I know my mother had no college education. Schools where I live, you have to take a 2-day course, which is nothing to sub. Yeah, that's 2-day. I mean, what, having no formal college education and going into a classroom with a whole bunch of children and being able to not rule a class, but have a classroom to not have chaos and order. Kids are so bad these days. I could not be a teacher. I just couldn't. Yeah. And the way she's acting, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. This feeling is not a good feeling. Yeah. Give her some Narcan, knock some of that shit out of her system. The only rugs she ever done is green stuff, but yeah. And see, and I will still partake in the green stuff because that is different. That's calming my anxiety. It is also with the pain and everything from the fibromyalgia. It does help me. The ankylosing spondylitis and all the other issues, it does help. So I do partake in the green ganja. Just need a GED or a high school diploma. Yeah, see, that's like I said, my mom, and that was in the 80s. So interesting that's still that way. Canada substitute need a teaching certificate, a bachelor's degree, language proficiency in English and or French. Wow. You're good with green too? Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with green. I got my little got my package. That's for later tonight, my Heo stream. And by the time we finish this, Heo's going to be live in about 45 minutes. And this has about 10 minutes left on it. So y'all get about a 30-minute break. And then we can all join back up over Heo's if y'all are available.
I can't look at my parents. I can't look at anybody.
This comment that she's making right now, I can't look at my parents. I can't look at anybody. That is a true feeling. When you get to a point where you are so low and you are so messed up, you realize how bad you've screwed up. You don't want to look at anybody. You don't want to be around anybody. You don't want nobody to touch you, to talk to you, to breathe the same air you're breathing. Nothing.
I'm so ashamed.
Good. You should feel ashamed. Good.
So Melissa, I'm here for our aspect of this and our investigation into this, obviously. So I do have a couple of questions for you based on that. So what exactly happened today? Will you tell me?
See, my finger is dilated and poking, staying awake during the night.
My finger is dabby and what? And you see my finger is dabby. But you also, you notice all the feet twitching and the hand twitching and the head. That's why I'm saying I don't think this is just Coca-Cola. Okay. And that's just merely my opinion, my observation, my thoughts. Do your own research. But been there, done that, and this does not look like just Coca-Cola to me.
Cocaine. Staying awake. Spending the night looking for an apartment.
So I overheard you talking with the doctor. You said you were fighting with your boyfriend and up all night last night. So you were trying to stay awake today at school. Is that what was happening?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
No. I'm tired.
Okay. And when at school or where in the school were you using the cocaine?
I didn't use it at the school,
Uh-huh.
in the school.
So I'm going to be honest with
I
you.
had it in my pocket, in my jacket.
Well, your jacket was in the school.
Right.
So Melissa,
I wore my jacket into the school, but I didn't do any at school.
so there's still some in your jacket pocket?
It's, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's where.
So Melissa, I've been in law enforcement for a little while and I've been around people who have used drugs for a while. I know cocaine hits you pretty quickly and I know it usually wears off in a couple hours. It was around 11 o'clock when this happened. So if you showed up today at 8 o'clock, which is the normal start time for the school, you wouldn't be visibly high right now if you hadn't used at the school.
He is right.
I swear to God, I
So
was at the school.
my assumption is the kids went out for a recess and lunch and that's when it would have happened. Is that true?
No, they had the 8th grade came in and one of the boys said, Miss Melissa's high or left it. No, a girl came back into the room and she goes,
Why are you twitching your feet like that? Can you try to stop doing that? Okay.
my legs go all the time.
So you said one of the 8th graders came into the room or did they see you out in the hallway?
No, I had that class. I was teaching that class. And one of the girls that was in the class came back into the classroom and she's like,
Those feet are making me nervous. I'm telling you, that is what I could not keep my feet still. So that, I'm just telling y'all, my experiences. You CBD gummies for chronic pain and prescription opiates. See, that was one of my biggest things was I had to get off any of the opiates because I only have one functioning kidney and it doesn't function at full percentage. So the prescription opiates were causing me more harm. So for my pain relief, we had to go, and I do have my gummies, I have my bottle of gummies that, my in between, I don't, but as far as any opiates or anything like that, I had to totally cut all that out. So, it was for health reasons.
so-and-so, the student's name said he's a little snitch. And I said, what are we talking about? And she goes, he's saying that you're high. And I was like, what? And I'm guessing it's probably saying it because my feet and my legs go.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stop it. It does it when I'm not on anything.
That I don't believe you, ma'am.
So what time would you say you used cocaine this morning?
I used it before I got to school.
Before you got to school?
Yeah.
Okay, like out in your car, out at home? Where'd you use it?
No, like
I have restless leg syndrome. I have RLS, and I have medication that I take for that. So it's a whole different ball game, and my medication keeps me from doing that. But when I was using the other stuff, it counteracted, and my feet were wild.
I used it in my car before I got to school.
Is there any in your car?
No.
So you used it in your car and then you brought what you had left into the school?
Well, because I had it in my jacket pocket.
Okay.
And
it was stupid.
I had my jacket on, and I wore my jacket into the school. And
Okay. Where'd you get the cocaine from?
She's not gonna tell you.
I found it.
You found it? Where'd you find it?
Girl.
I don't want to discuss it.
Get
I
out.
want to not talk anymore.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So you don't have to talk other than answering this question. Frankly, you don't have to answer it. We're going to proceed regardless. So where we're at right now is we brought a canine into that classroom. We ran the canine around your stuff. The canine hit on both your backpack and your jacket. So you can either consent to us searching your jacket and your backpack, or what's going to happen is we're going to take it back to the police department. We're going to write a search warrant, and the judge will make a determination as to whether or not to grant that search warrant for the backpack and the jacket.
You can search the backpack. There's nothing.
Okay, and can I search the jacket too? Okay.
Sure, search it. It's in there. Go ahead.
Melissa gives the officer consent to search her belongings when he quickly finds a baggie of suspected cocaine in her jacket pocket. Investigators later tested the substance.
I think it couldn't get any more clear than that.
That indicated a presumptive positive for the presence of cocaine, according to police.
What are they going to do to me?
So it was.
So,
I'm upside down.
Melissa.
I don't want to go to jail.
Melissa,
I don't want to.
You're here for help. The hospital's going to help you. So, based on the...
I'm sorry.
You're okay. It's okay.
I'm scared.
And now the anxiety kicks in. Why you so anxious, hun? Because you fixing to go to jail and you're not going to have no access to any of that. And then you're going to really be in a bad place when you're coming down and you don't have any more to refresh your little high.
So you're not going to jail right now. You're going to stay here. I'm going to walk out the door in a couple minutes. So you're here to get help first. You taking care of yourself is the priority. No, Melissa, that's for the best. If you're going through some stuff, you want some help, you want to get help.
It showed positive for Coca-Cola, so, but that doesn't mean it wasn't mixed. But you know what? And two, the other thing that really scares the fuck out of me these days is the fent. The fact that things are mixed and stepped on. I would never, ever try anything ever again. Ever. It's just the insanity of, yeah, she could have a heart attack right there. Exactly, Abellis. This is serious. People don't realize how it can really, really screw you up and affect you. Okay. I was choking. Someone saying, quit talking about that. Yes. It's Russian roulette. Ooh. I think my mama just come down from heaven and choked me and said, quit talking about this shit, child. Whew. Yeah, it is. And the fent mixing it makes it more dangerous. I'm trying, Lois. I'm trying. So I'm telling you, my mama came down and she grabbed me. She said, shut the fuck up, Sheila. Quit talking about this shit. Anyways. Yeah, see, and that would be my biggest fear. Even thinking of trying, I would never, but thinking about it, things that are mixy. And you remember what was it last winter? Was it last winter? The guys from Kansas City that passed away in the backyard, the 3 guys, and the one that was in the house that answered the door with the alcohol in his hand and had been sleeping for a couple of days, and they had been found in the backyard in the snow. And that was mixed. It was mixed that killed those 3 guys. So, yeah, I mean, anything. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that choking. Right. Anybody. I wouldn't take anything from nobody. You know, I'll be honest. I have a sister-in-law that still messes with this stuff. And I'm like, keep it the fuck out of my house. Don't bring it even in my house. Don't bring it around here. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. Don't even tell me you're doing it. I don't want to know. Because when we find you dead, I'll just spill your beans everywhere. I will tell everybody why. You know, I'm not going to hide. By the way, I love your background, especially I was just trying something different. I'm just playing my backgrounds, y'all. I got all kinds of stuff I've been playing with in my little depression era of sitting here on the couch, scrolling and being in everybody's chat and hanging out. You know, I've been doing things. I've been making stuff for the channel and trying to make songs and make little bumpers and see, and I haven't used anything today. We could have went wild. I could have, let's see, hold up. Oh, wait, I got a good one. I clipped from a creator. Okay. We're going to laugh for just a minute and then we'll go back to the crazy lady and finish it out.
You take it easy, okay? Sit and spin, bitch. Don't mess with me tonight. I had a nap.
That's right. I had a nap. Don't mess with me. I had a nap. Sit and spin. All right, back to the crazy lady. I think she needs to take it easy. Wait, this lady needs to take it easy and take a nap, guys. Sit and spin.
I can't go look at you. I feel like such a piece of shit.
What you say?
I thought somebody was already in here. So they get it done.
She came in for just a minute, and I'll be out of here in like 2 seconds. She just told me to grab her. I just need to drop paper on her.
No worries. Okay. Do you want help sitting up more?
Look, Abellis, there's your nurse, Abellis. She wants to help her sit up. See, Abellis, there's somebody else that thinks like you.
I'm sorry. I'm overwhelmed.
Do you guys have any rubber gloves I can toss this out?
I'm overwhelmed.
So, Melissa, I'm just going to issue this to you, and then I'm going to get out of here, okay? Is there anyone you want me to contact for you? Okay, I wasn't sure if you had, like, family or something you wanted to...
I don't want to be...
No, that's totally fine. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't want somebody to know you were up here. Because I can do that for you if you need. But so
We can also do it like later in a few hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's up to you when. It's pretty much up
I'm not all messed up. Like, this is panic that's coming out.
It's panic coming out? Ma'am, that's the devil trying to get out of you. That's not panic. That's the devil trying to get the hell out of you and say, stop this insanity. Let me free. Oh.
Panic.
So, Melissa, what this is the citation to come right here. It's going to be for next Thursday at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to be charged with reckless endangerment and cocaine possession. So, at the time of it, you're going to show up.
Reckless endangerment?
Reckless endangerment for bringing drugs into the school is what that is. It's reckless because if a kid gets possession of those drugs, the kid could have serious health complications for that. And the drugs were left unattended in the classroom.
And with reckless endangerment, you're not going to work as a teacher anymore. At least I hope not. Never, ever again, I hope.
So that was the reckless nature of it. So if you don't show up at that time and date, there will be a warrant for your arrest. You do understand that? Okay, will you sign acknowledging that you understand that? Okay.
Oh my God. Wait, what date is it?
Next Thursday, October 9th.
Melissa was not taken into custody, but instead issued a citation for reckless endangerment and cocaine possession. At last check, she reportedly pleaded not guilty to the charges and is expected back in court later this year.
Something tells me she's not going to be substituting here again. Probably not anywhere. Yeah.
Okay, well, I need to find out what her status is, but in the meantime, hold on a minute.
So my message for everybody out there is to own your insecurity. Whatever you're insecure about, own it. And if you own it, people will rock with you because of that. We are all in this thing together. We are all messed up. And no matter how messed up you think you are, there's always somebody more fucked up than you. You understand? That's real talk.
That's real talk. There's always somebody more fucked up than you. Somebody, somewhere. Woo! Back up, Sheila. Not guilty. I know, right? She pled not guilty. I'm gonna have to go look and see if I can find a follow-up to it. If I do, I'll make a post about it. But with that, I want you all to have a blessed night. This is the live. I just put it in the chat. Hio will be live in about 20 minutes. Is when she's scheduled to go live. Oh, well, thanks, Dutch. It's good to see you, love. Yeah, so anyways, if y'all all just take a moment, like the stream on your way out if you haven't already, and Hio will be live over there, and we will do she will. I keep saying we. Why do I put myself in her pocket all the time? I always put myself in her pocket. I'm her pocket friend. Yeah, so yeah, join us over there, and Hio's going to do the second installment of the Rebecca Park scandal. We'll just call it a scandal because it is definitely a scandal. So with that, over the rainbow, somewhere over the rainbow. Okay, yeah, we're pocket pals. See? Didn't y'all know? All right. Okay, so take time, enjoy the view. Whatever, go out. I'd say touch some grass, but it's pretty damn cold outside, so don't be touching no grass. I want y'all to have a blessed night. I will see every one of y'all. Y'all better be over there in Hio's chat. If not, at least go give her a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So till I see y'all then, peace. Y'all have a great night.
Life's a ride on a rickety old track, holding on tight, never looking back. In the rubber room we couldn't find